Hey, what's up, Skalo? Today I want to share my Vipassana sit-serve experience. Word. So as a little forward, I've taken 3 retreats, and I've served one. They're 10-day retreats, complete silence, except for when you're serving, you get to talk. And he basically just teaches you to observe your respiration and your sensations and not react to anything that's pleasant or unpleasant. So my first experience was last year, 5 days before I left for West Point, which was quite the experience. 10 days of silence right before then. Yeah, that was intense. It was hard for me to sit because I was really into like lifting and all that shit and being athletic and whatever. Uh, my second experience was pretty hard to retreat too. It's very hard to do this. It's not like an easy thing. There's many times during every single 10 day I've sat where I wanted to leave at one point or the other, or at least thought about it. Not that I was actually gonna do it, but like the thought was definitely in my mind. Yeah, the second one was hard, but I actually just want to talk about the last month that I did at the Vipassana Meditation Center in Shelburne Falls. So when I showed up, I was kind of like spaced out. I did the serve first and then the sit. I was really spaced out. Like I felt like I was just more aware of like how I was reacting to everybody and just how not present I actually was. Like I went into it thinking like, oh yeah, I'm like all fucking present and high vibe or whatever. But just seeing some of the people there, I'm like, wow, I got a lot to learn. Like it's a long path. It's not something that just happens like, oh, I just meditate for maybe a year or so and then all of a sudden I'm like this like enlightened person. Like I found out that real quick. And I noticed I was just very hyper aware of my reactions to things people would say. Like normally I would just brush it off, but since when you're serving you also have to meditate 3 hours a day, so that just adds to the intensity like a lot. So yeah, that was quite the experience. The people there, such a wide range. Like you have just regular farmers or like people like that are from other countries. There was some life coaches. There was a model there. There was people that go to MIT and Harvard since it's in Massachusetts. Just random hippie travelers, people that have tried different things, acupuncture, whatever. So it's a very wide range. Like there's just so many different kinds of people that I think that does something to it. And they're amazing people. Like honestly, some of the best people I've ever met in my life. And like they made me feel like I was like welcome and stuff. Like in the normal world, like not everybody's positive and not everybody's gonna be all nice to you. But these people were like really nice, and it wasn't just a fake type of nice where like you can see kind of through it. It was like a realness to it too. If that makes sense to anybody out there watching this. Yeah, so I read a bunch of books while I was there. That was cool. The meditation was not too bad, but like there were periods where I could feel like it was pretty intense. Like it was like an intense atmosphere. It's not as bad as when you're sitting, like doing the sitting part of the meditation, like the 10 days sitting. When you're serving the retreat, meditation is pretty intense. And I remember I went up to the teacher. Oh, this is the story. I went up to the teacher and I asked him this question, right? It's kind of private, so I'm not going to share it here. But afterwards, as I was leaving, and during the whole conversation, I could almost feel like this guy knows what's up. Like he was so relatable too. He was a Westerner, and I could just feel his loving energy coming off of him, and it was like really intense. Like holy smokes, like it didn't even matter what he was saying really. I could just feel like this guy knows what he's talking about. And but as I was leaving, I was sitting right in front of him, and I remember I said, wow, thank you, man, appreciate it. Like, holy shit, like this guy blew my mind, whatever. And then like he said, you have a lot to live for, Kayla. And like I remember like the way he said it, like the words just like came into my being, and it like something changed. Like it was like some little part of me like switched open or something. I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. Yeah, that was a cool experience. And towards the end, I could actually feel the metta. Like the guy who teaches these 10 days, his name's S.N. Goenka. He talks about the metta, like the loving kindness, the compassion. And the times that I was sitting, I couldn't really feel it too much. I felt it a little bit, but it wasn't too distinct. But like when you're just giving to people, like not expecting anything from return, I could kind of feel how I could actually feel it. Like I could feel good about it. Like that, like I'm actually benefiting somebody. And it's like, I think it was just a cool experience. Like I had never really experienced like that to that intensity before. But yeah, so the in-between courses, I actually left with a couple servers and hung out in Boston for a little bit. And that actually helps because being at that center, if I would have stayed in between, because there's like a 3-day period in between the courses. So I was serving the 10-day and then I took the 3 days off, and then, or actually I did 3 days before serving, but still, whatever. So anyways, I did the 10-day serve and then 3 days off and then the 10-day sit, where the 10-day serve, you're meditating 3 hours a day and helping everybody and like helping like put out the meals and stuff. And then the 3 days in between, like you can do whatever you want. And then the sit part, you actually do the meditation, which is like 10 hours a day. So I remember leaving, it actually helped so much because being at the center, if I would have just stayed, I would have had to stay for a month straight. So that would have been 30 straight days of meditating in the same location without leaving. Yeah, that would have been very intense. So I felt like it kind of like, I still kept up the meditation like in between courses, but it definitely like helped. Like it definitely kind of like helped me integrate the experience. Yeah, so then I returned and I did the 10-day. And I remembered that I felt like I eased into it a lot better because of the fact that I had served before and was already doing a bunch of meditation. So that was good. The first 3 days went by kind of fast. I didn't really think about the time too much. It was intense, but I think the fact that I wasn't keeping track of the time added to the experience. Because I noticed anytime I would start thinking like, oh, I have 7 more days of meditation left, holy shit, that like me thinking about the time almost like in a way created the time. It was crazy, but like it feels like this. It feels like every single moment when you're at these retreats lasts forever, but the whole thing just went by so fast. But when I thought about it, it would make it go by slower because that thought would get the time stuck in my head. I wouldn't just be like in the now. Because when I'm in the now, I'm not thinking about how much time there's left. I'm just focused on the meditation, focused on my breathing and my sensations. So yeah, I think I remember there was a lot of, I realized like how messed up I actually am. Like, because Goenka talks about like how as human beings we have like defilements and stuff, and I never really noticed it, but like I just realized like, wow, I'm really like, I crave a lot, or I'm like angry or whatever. I could really like notice that type of shit. And then yeah, it was an experience. I would say since I had already done 2 retreats, I kind of knew what I was getting myself into, so it was harder because I was more serious when I went there. like I had already known exactly what the meditation is and what he's going to tell me to do. And you learn new things from him when he like S.N. Goenka, the guy, the teacher, when he gives his discourses. But it kind of lost its novelty. Like I wasn't like, oh, what's this meditation retreat that I'm going to? Oh, this guy, I don't know what this is. Like blah blah blah. Like none of that. Like I just kind of knew exactly what's up. I'm here to work, and then like I'm here to improve myself. I'm here to, whatever type of spiritual self-improvement. Yeah, so it was a lot more serious. And yeah, I'm trying to think of some other differences. You could notice the new students a lot. That was true. Yeah, it was intense. Intense experience. It doesn't get easier. After the first 3 days, remember how I said it like kind of went by in a breeze? After the first 3 days, like it was almost like, holy shit, I'm actually meditating right here, right now. And that's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost like a feeling of like when you're on a roller coaster, you kind of think about, oh, I'm going on a roller coaster, I'm going on a roller coaster. But then like once you're actually on the roller coaster, you're like, holy shit, I'm right here, right about to go over the edge. That's kind of like the experience in a way, where like I was kind of thinking about, oh yeah, I'm doing a 10-day, blah, blah, blah. But then like 3 days into it, working hard, the intensity of living like exponentially increases. So it was more like, it was like right there, right in front of my face. So that was intense. Yeah, it didn't get easier than the other retreats, like at all. Maybe like 1%, but not even. Like, they're hard in their own ways. If you guys want to learn more information about this type of meditation, just look up Vipassana Mediation Center, and there's like tons of information about this kind of stuff. I'd highly recommend it. I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, but I know from my personal experience and the experience of others that like I would at least like look it up and check it out if you're into any kind of personal growth or meditation or anything like that. I would just give it a look, but see if it's right for you. Okay, so that was kind of like the end of the retreat part. Then the after part was kind of like, because I just finished maybe 3-4 days ago, but we got to talk. You get to talk on the last day, and wow, that was a trip. I met a lot of people that were kind of like me. Just such a wide variety of people. And then a lot of these people that I met, like, I think I really, it really clicked in my head this time that meditation is not just for like woo-woo, airy-fairy type of people. Because the last 2 retreats, that's what I almost kind of thought that it was kind of like that. But then, like, a lot of these people that were here were, like, entrepreneurs, life coaches, there was a dating coach there, gymnasts, strength trainers, just people who kick ass. Like, really cool people. And they were also nice and, like, chill and, like, funny and awesome and amazing and cool. Like, just made me feel like, whoa, like, why isn't everybody like this? Like, why aren't people just chill each other? But that's a different conversation. Because I know for me, like I like the practical aspects of meditation. I think that it can improve your mental performance. I think that, like, I know this for a fact because I got smarter as I meditated. As I've grown in meditation, like, my ability to think has increased. I think that it makes you a lot more sharper. And that's helped in sports. Like, for me, I'm an athlete, so you really have to be in the zone when you're playing. And I got exponentially better over the past few years in my athletic endeavors. That, yeah, I think it like improves that type of like edge. It doesn't mean that you're actually smarter. It doesn't mean that you just grow 2 inches and now you're more jacked. But you have more focus and you can fully give all your attention to whatever you're doing. So I like that aspect of it. And I like the fact that like it detaches you from winning or losing, but you still go for the win. Like for instance, like it doesn't make you like a airy fairy, like, oh, I'm just a meditation man, eh? I'm floating in space, man. Check me out. Like it's not like that at all. Like it really, like for me, I felt that like it made me more engaged in my life. Like it made me more like right there. It made me more on point and made me like, it just increased. Like it helped me a lot. And it's not just like an airy fairy type of thing. Like it's very science based. The guy who teaches it does not talk about dimensions or any of that or any woo woo stuff. And like I'm all for the woo woo, but like I like to explain it to like a audience that may not be into that type of stuff. And for me personally, I like it all, but I view all those experiences as experiences. But at the end of the day, we also have to live in the real world. But that's my personal opinion. So yeah, these guys kicked ass. And like, it just made me feel like, holy shit, there's other people just like me doing cool stuff. And I'm a 19-year-old kid. I'm just starting off on this journey. I'm about to go to college tomorrow, actually, at Northeastern University. Hit me up if you're going. But yeah, it was just so cool to meet some like older bros that were like, holy shit, man, you're 19, you're taking this, like, wow, you're like, this is fucking awesome, dude. Like, you're gonna crush it when you're our age, man. Like, holy smokes. Because like being a 19-year-old kid, maybe this is just my experience, but the people that like the small town that I'm in, like the people they just don't, like when I tell people I do a 10-day meditation in complete silence, they're like kind of like, whoa, what the fuck, like that's crazy, dude. Some people are like, wow, that's really cool, but a lot of people, it's just not like, they just don't see the value the same way that I see it. And it was so good to get that positive support, that like the positive reinforcing experiences. I think that's just so important, and just gave me a lot of confidence. Like I actually did this on purpose because I knew that I would be going to college in 3 days, and I knew that I could roll up like all blissed out and shit, that like it would like ease the whole freshman transition feel, and I would feel a lot more at ease and a lot more chill. And I'm all about that. Yeah, so the first day, everybody's a little bit spaced out because like we just went from no stimulus to like all of a sudden like talking, which was like, it's just like it felt like I was like stoned, except for not tripping out. Like that same feeling, it kind of felt like that. But then after a couple days, it just went away, and I actually became more sharper again. So that was cool. So yeah, also another thing that I noticed is that the retreats, like the effect, like the first time I did the retreat, I felt this like huge meditation high afterwards. But then over time, the result kind of becomes subtler and subtler and subtler because you grow more, and it's less of a, holy shit, frenetic energy, crazy hyper experience, blah, 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 blah. It's less frenetic energy and more like grounded intensity, like grounded like right here in the moment. Yeah, that was my experience doing kind of like a quasi sit serve, not official sit serve, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and shoot me some likes, some comments, or whatever. If you have any questions, check it out in the comments. Thanks for watching.